shocking number. So how is Capitol Hill dealing with the migrant crisis, and what can we expect next year when Republicans take over the House? Well, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is with us here. You invited President Biden to go on a trip with you to the border, a border he has never visited. Here's his press secretary yesterday with one of the things she always says about Republicans. Watch here.
We put the question to Congress, and what are they going to do here? Republicans are asking, how are we going to secure the border? I've listed out on ways that we've tried and work on that, but we're also wanting to do this on a bipartisan way. Republicans know how to work with us, so why don't they work with us on this particular issue that is important to Americans across the country?
I'll let you answer her there.
Very clear. They don't want to work at all. They have destroyed this border. We don't even have operational control anymore. Think about what your story just portrayed. 1.5 million fentanyl pills in 1 week. One crossing from 42 different countries. This didn't used to be this way. And what's going to happen in 1 week from now when Title 42 is lifted, so all your viewers understand what that means. Title 42 simply says when someone enters our country illegally from another nation, we send them back to their country. When you do that, it stops illegal immigration from coming. But this administration will not uphold that. There is projections that it would be 13 million more people going to cross this border illegally in the next 2 years under the Biden administration. He won't even go and tour the border. He's been in office in more than 40 years and has never been to it. How does he understand what's going on? The difference is going to happen in 20 days from now, on January 3rd. I will move hearings to the border. So these committees in Congress in Washington won't hold these hearings here. It'll be at the border. So the Democrats can no longer avoid the situation. They've got to learn firsthand what is going on, and the American public has to understand what's happening.
So they're looking
there.
for $4 billion, and just yesterday they said if you don't work with them, you're not serious about the issue. Can you find maybe the word is compromise, or some sort of resolution between the two? Because we understand where you're coming from. We don't quite understand why the White House has allowed it to reach the point that it has. So
work with them. Work with them. How? I will gladly work with them.
But you want to be House Speaker, so bring the two sides together. How would you do that as Speaker?
Well, the first thing is House Speaker, I'd bring the Republicans and Democrats to the border so everybody understands the problem and stops playing politics with it. The next thing I would move is I would take the border agents out of being processing agents, where they're not even able to be on the border to protect it. So bring processors in there. I would put the policies back in with Republicans and Democrats, remain in Mexico. I would work with Republicans and Democrats to bring back Title 42, that you would put people back into their countries so they know not to come here. I would make sure it go directly from Republicans and Democrats to go directly to China, to stop sending the chemicals to the cartels in Mexico to kill Americans. That can no longer happen. The next thing I would do is make sure the border agents have enough help, because now the cartels control the borders.
Wow.
The best thing that could actually happen, I would have Bill Mnuchin actually testify. I would help, Fox would give him a 1-hour special just to let him show the videos that he has, where there are tracers, bullets being shot at our National Guard from the cartels on our border. I would give the stories of what is happening. And you know what? This isn't a Republican or Democrat issue. Today, 300 Americans are going to die because of what's happening on that border with fentanyl. Tomorrow, 300 more. You're watching people from 160 different countries coming. And you know what else is happening? They're catching people on the terrorist watch list. We all know as Americans what happens with a very few that come here that want to have a different way about America. So no, I will work with anyone that wants to do this. But to sit back in the White House and say we're not working with you, they have ignored the problem, they have created the problem, and they have played politics with the problem. Come January 3rd, no longer will we accept that. We will bring everyone together, and we will go after to make sure this border is secure and Americans are stopped from being killed.
As you were talking there, we had a drone shot that was live from the border. Dana, I'm going to guess there were 200, maybe
Probably.
300 people there.
I mean,
at daybreak.
And this is happening now. So, but you have a good point, which is, if or when you become Speaker. So here is some recent headlines on your quest. The New York Times saying that your bid remains imperiled on the right. NBC News says, can the Never Kevin caucus hold the line? And Politico warned by McCarthy critics one qualified alternative speaker. what can you do in the next couple of weeks to try to lock this up? Because there's a few that are basically saying they're never going to vote for you for Speaker, and you don't have the margin that you need in order to get there, at least maybe today?
Look, our goal was to stop this Biden agenda, win the majority, and fire Nancy Pelosi. We achieved all three of those. I've been leader for 4 years, and all we've done is win seats when every other Republican entity has lost during that time. We're sitting and talking to every person in the conference. We've had our primary after the election, who to be the nominee. I won that by 85% of the vote. I do not think at the end of the day that 5 Republicans are going to hold up our opportunity to secure the border, or that 5 Republicans are going to sit back and make us not be energy independent, or let this runaway spending continue, because that's what will happen if we don't. We've got to find a way to work together for the next 2 years. Otherwise, we'll lose as individuals.
Just in a word here quickly, do you think you have the votes as of today?
I think on January 3rd or before then, we'll have the votes.
Well, we'll see then.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Good to
Kevin
see you.
McCarthy.
Thank you.
Have a great Christmas.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.